In 3 weeks' time, Manchester United will be at the UCLA campus for their first day of pre-season training ahead of a 5-match tour in the United States. Diogo Dalot should recover from injury in time to figure alongside his new teammates, but Fred is unlikely to link up with the squad as Brazil attempt to clinch a 6th World Cup. But which other new faces could join them? United have unsuccessfully tried to seal an early deal for Toby Alderweireld, and any progress on a Willian transfer is unlikely to happen until after the World Cup. Jose Mourinho prefers to have his signings sealed early, but in a summer where there is an early window closure on August 9, the pressure is likely to intensify on Ed Woodward to conclude negotiations for other targets. Stick with us as we bring you all the United news and transfer rumors live. 10-11 reports in Italy say Martial is discussing personal terms with Juve, but no fee has been agreed. This is how it often works in Italy. An Italian club is closing in, but they forget to sort the transfer fee. Juventus seem to be the club linked with Martial the most. They also want Darmian, and United have been interested in Sandro. It shouldn't be too tricky to negotiate a de facto swap deal. Martial's agent Philippe Lamboli said this month, after thinking about all the possibilities, Anthony wants to leave Manchester United. When Manchester United, which is the most powerful club in the world, does not find an agreement in 8 months of negotiations, it is that it does not really want to make it Martial, an important player. Key event. Thank you for joining us on the United blog today. Scroll down below to catch up on all the latest news and gossip regarding City. Here's a look at 3 of our top stories from the day. 1935. Some great replies to this caption competition. 1931. Who would have thought it would take 200 minutes of football and 4 goals conceded before De Gea made a save at this World Cup? 1925. United supporters think Jose Mourinho deserves more credit for his role in the development of Jesse Lingard. 1908. Before the World Cup kicked off in Russia, if you asked fans of other clubs what they thought of Manchester United's Jesse Lingard, a large number would probably say they didn't like him. The England midfielder is a divisive figure amongst United fans, with many unimpressed when he was handed a new contract in April last year. It is hard to understand why United fans wouldn't like an academy graduate who has scored important winning goals for his club. But there are many who don't. Maybe it's the dancing goal celebrations and playful Instagram stories that grate with some of the Old Trafford faithful off. But he has shown at the World Cup that he is simply a fun-loving 25-year-old with a lot of talent who deserves his place in the England and Manchester United starting's eyes. The transformation of Lingard. 1907. Manchester United supporters have been sharing their excitement at the prospect of Marouane Fellaini potentially leaving the club this week. Fellaini sees his current deal at Old Trafford expire at midnight on Saturday, and he is yet to sign a new deal at the club. Jose Mourinho offered the Belgian international a new contract at the club, however he is yet to accept the terms offered to him, with the midfielder appearing destined to leave the club 5 years after he was signed by David Moyes. Mourinho would like to sign a new central midfielder if Fellaini leaves this summer, and the player confirmed on Monday supporters will know soon about his transfer decision. Fellaini has been a solid servant to United, winning 4 trophies during his spell at the club. However, the general consensus appears that supporters would be glad to see him leave. Read all the fan reaction here. 1906. Paul Pogba's claim this could be his final World Cup has been rubbished by France boss Didier Deschamps. The Manchester United midfielder said last week the current competition in Russia could be his last, adding he was realistic about the prospect. The France star has spoken out on a number of topics during the tournament, including having issues with his club boss Jose Mourinho. But ahead of his country's final Group C game against Denmark on Tuesday night, Deschamps laughed off the idea Pogba may never play in another World Cup. Full quotes here. 1846. Marco Verratti is set to be offered to a number of top European clubs, according to reports in Italy. According to Calcio Mercato, the Italy international wants to leave the club after meeting with new PSG manager Thomas Tuchel. The report states Barcelona have already indicated they aren't interested, with Juventus, Real Madrid and United all offered his signature. 1822 Danish national team manager Age Harried claims comments suggesting he thought brands were nothing special, and that Pogba only thought about his haircut, were twisted to create a story. Things were taken out of context. If you read the whole article, you would have seen I was comparing this team with the 1998 team. You can pick out whatever you like from an article, but I was comparing this team with the best ever France team in 1998, that's all. France has a team with so many good individual players. Their defense is strong and midfield strong with Pogba. What he delivers as a player, you can't compare with anything in Europe, and then Antoine Griezmann at the top, two great players. They are extremely strong. 1750 Santos defender Junior King believes his trial spell at Man City had a detrimental effect on his hopes of signing for United. We played against Leicester and Ipswich, he told Foot Mercado. We won both games. I was man of the match. A number of English agents came forward. I had trials at Manchester United, where everything went well, but the agents wanted to up the price. They then sent me to Manchester City, but I was tired, I had backache and I'd only spent a day there. Manchester United knew that I had gone to City, and therefore nothing got done in the end. 1735 Romelu Lukaku could be in line to feature against England in Belgium's final World Cup match, according to Roberto Martinez. The next 48 hours will tell us if Romelu Lukaku will be involved against England or not. He had a scan today, Martinez confirmed at a press conference. 1705 Former England manager Fabio Capello believes Sergej Milinkovic-Savic is similar to former United forward Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He is like an Ibrahimovic of the midfield. If Juve sacrificed Pjanic to get to him, I would understand, but it would be better to give up another player, because with a midfield with Can, Milinkovic-Savic and Pjanic would cause problems for everyone. 1650 goalkeeping stats from FIFA reveal David De Gea is the only keeper who has featured at the World Cup in Russia not to have made a single save. 1647 Fred the Red gave a few lucky youngsters a PE. And remember, 1638 Cristiano Ronaldo's scoring exploits at the World Cup are of no real surprise to Manchester United legend Roy Keane. Despite a tough start to life in Manchester, the Portuguese star made an instant impact on the club captain for his immense levels of hunger despite only being 18 years old. Ronaldo arrived at the club as a raw teenage prodigy, and left as the greatest player in the world. And although it took a while for Ronaldo to settle into English football, Keane revealed his 2014 biography, The Second Half, just how impressed he was by the youngster. Full quotes. 1617 Manchester United are hoping to complete a bargain move for Diego Godin, according to reports in Spain. According to the daily paper, as José Mourinho has identified the Atletico Madrid centre-back as the man he needs in order to strengthen his defensive options. The 32-year-old has been a vital member of Atletico's continued rise in La Liga and has played a key role for Uruguay during their World Cup campaign in Russia. According to the report, Godin could be available for as little as £18 million this summer, with the veteran defender only have 1 year left on his current deal at the club. It is suggested that talks are ongoing to ensure the centre-back signs a new deal at the Wanda Metropolitano. However, the report states he could be persuaded to leave the club amid interest from both United and Juventus. Mourinho is reportedly still keen on a move for Toby Alderweireld, but could be tempted to move for Godin if the player expresses an interest to leave Spain. 1555 Didier Deschamps believes Paul Pogba will play in future World Cups, despite the player admitting this summer's World Cup could be his last. I don't think it will be his last World Cup, he's only 25 years old, it's highly probable that he will play another one, said Deschamps, who smiled when asked if Pogba's words displayed a newfound modesty and maturity. I always see the same Paul, he added. Over the past 15 days he is suddenly not going to change from being the joker to someone that's very sincere. He's had to go through some difficult periods, but I always see the same player. He has accumulated lots of experience, he's clear in his head, he's happy and very motivated. 1546 United supporters have been sharing their summer transfer wishes. 1536 United are considering a move for Valencia defender José Luis Gaya, according to reports. The Metro suggest United will make a £30 million bid for the Valencia defender in the summer transfer window as Jose Mourinho looks to strengthen his options at central defense. 1502 There's plenty of players fans want to come in, but there's one man the fans really want to leave: Fellaini. Read the full story here. 1443 Ashley Young getting involved in yoga. 1436 France play Denmark tomorrow. 1422 Rashford missed out on a place in the England starting 11 again yesterday, and former England boss Sam Allardyce can't understand why. "I can't see any reason why Gareth shouldn't play Marcus Rashford against Belgium," the former England manager said on Monday's Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast. Raheem Sterling hasn't delivered what we know he can deliver and what he has delivered at Manchester City. Unfortunately for him, for 2 games he hasn't shown quite as much as he has this season, so you've got to say why not Rashford. It's not a must-win game, it's almost a free game. Yes, we want to carry on the momentum, but Marcus Rashford scored a terrific goal in the friendly he played, and I wouldn't say Raheem Sterling is a natural goal scorer, even though he got a huge amount of goals for Man City last season. Sterling is not as natural a goal scorer as Rashford, and the more goal scorers you have on the pitch, the better chance you've got of going all the way. 1356 At the moment, David De Gea is the only goalkeeper in the World Cup not to make a save. 33 goalkeepers have currently played in the tournament, and a list published on FIFA's website showed 32 of them have made saves, with De Gea being the only one not. 1324 Martial's future is up in the air, but he should be watching the World Cup intently before making a decision. Read the latest from Samuel Luckhurst here. 1321 This World Cup footage will put a smile on your face. 1314 He's been regularly criticized for his choice of haircuts, and Pogba thinks he knows why. "I think it is a French or European mentality. Apparently you are not allowed to have a hairstyle and play football," Pogba told reporters. "I do not really understand. You only talk of the negative. When I dance and score, I hear nobody. When I dance, and we lose, then it is a problem. It is fine, though. I will continue, despite the critics. You say I am a showman, but I am just me. Take me as I am. I smile. I will always smile in front of you, with or without the criticisms and praise. I will always be the same. That is what makes me Le Pioche and Paul." 1258 The United midfielder faced the media yesterday and finally admitted to having issues with Mourinho. "It was a better season than the previous one," Pogba said ahead of France's last World Cup group match against Denmark. "It was an experience. There were some small issues with Mourinho, but they were nothing in the end. Being a substitute, that sort of thing, it helps you to grow. I have to accept." Read the full story here. 1229 The debate on safe standing is being held today at 4:30 p.m.